You could be a someone! All you had to do was work these last few years. You could be a millionaire. You could retire. You could save your mother from being coarsened in the labor market. You could prolong the life of your loved ones with medical care. You could literally keep your parents alive longer, and you still couldn't. You still couldn't be motivated. Extra years of consciousness for the people who birthed you is somehow not as important as jerking off on Pornhub, it seems, to fucking scumbag losers like you. And you wonder why I end up in a position where I think, do poor people even ever deserve to win? And you don't feel any shame in your fucking heart? There's nothing bothering you deep inside? You sleep just fine? Everything's okay, is it? Oh, well, doop-dee-doo. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't understand.
I knew people who weren't that talented, but they were just at the gym every day. They just ran further, they just trained harder, and they just ended up being world champions. That's how it gets. You cannot beat consistency. The person who does what they're supposed to do day after day, regardless of how they feel, is going to be the person who wins. The people who are the most successful in the real world are the people who wake up every day and work. If you're the person who wakes up, does work, is fantastic at it, but then takes 3 days off, you're going to lose. They say that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That is completely true. You have to be consistent. You have to decide. Are you the kind of person who wants to make a lot of money in this life and live a life of freedom? Or are you the kind of person who wants to look back when he's 30 on his 20s or 40 on his 30s and look at that decade and go, what did I do with that decade? Well, I didn't get rich. I didn't travel the world and live like they do in Tate Confidential. What did I do? Well, I had a day off here, a day off there, a bunch of nothing days that amalgamate into this decade of nothingness, and you're just wasting your time. If you want to win, you need to be consistent. You don't need to be the smartest, not at all, but you have to be the guy who's there day after day. I guarantee you, I will guarantee you right now, IQ has nothing to do with how successful you'll be as a person. What is going to determine how successful you're going to be is, are you there every single day? Are you doing what you're supposed to do day after day?
Andrew, can you motivate me? Why weren't you motivated when you stood a chance? Why weren't you motivated when I spoke before? Why must reality slap you in the face so brutally for you to wake up? You're the kind of dickhead who drives his car on the ice and slides all over the place and won't slow down. It's only when you hit a fucking tree and lose a leg do you sit there like a pirate, a dumb pirate with a wooden fucking leg. You sit there and go, I might slow down next time. You only learn lessons the hardest possible way. And here I am, respected as one of the greatest orators in the English language, trying my best to convince you to win. I'm not trying to convince you to commit suicide. I'm not trying to convince you to die. I'm not trying to convince you to lose. I'm trying to convince you to do something you should already want to fucking do, which is win. And I can't seem to get you to take action and move and work. Listen, please. I need to get through to you. Let me put the guys, I need to get through to you. Please listen. When you watch our videos, I don't want you to be happy for us. I don't want you to sit there and go, that would be cool. I want you to watch our videos and think, how do I get where they are? How do I get involved in that life? How do I get next to the Tates or build a replicable life for myself and my team? How do I reach that echelon of masculine capability? Look around yourself. Look at the room you're in now. Look at the woman you're next to. Look at the car you drive. Look at all of it. Say, am I happy with this? Do I want something else? Do I want more? How do I get what they have? They are two brothers from the bottom who were broke with nothing, who have everything now. How did they do it? How do I do it? I'm not showing you these videos for you to have a fucking happy, fun time. I'm showing you these videos to fucking motivate you and explain to you there is an entire version of reality that you have yet to crack.
And you need to get very comfortable and very used to the idea of understanding that on your path to greatness, there are going to be long periods of time where you hate what you are doing, where you are dissatisfied with the actions you must undertake, where you are tired, where you are stressed. That is why it is difficult. That is why most people won't make it. If the path was easy, everybody would walk it and it would lead nowhere. 100 people start the path, 99 fall off because it is difficult, and the one person who makes it to the end gets the gold. If all 100 made it to the end and the gold was divided by 100, it wouldn't even be worth anything. The difficulty gives it value. The fact that it is difficult to do is the key component into the fact you want it in the first place. If it wasn't difficult, everyone would have it and you wouldn't want it because no one would respect it. It's supposed to be hard. Life is supposed to be hard. You're supposed to think this is terrible. You're supposed to suffer and smile through the pain regardless. Discipline is the key to success in all realms as a man. And if you lack it, you stand no chance. You can give most people a roadmap to success. You can give them a Ferrari with a full tank of gas, and a lot of people still wouldn't make the destination because they would say the drive is too far away. Quitters, they don't have the discipline. You can tell them exactly how to do it. You can give them the mechanism to get there, but they don't have the discipline to complete the drive.
There's a common thread there, and there's a common thread which is, if you're disciplined and you have willpower, that can be applied to absolutely anything, right? If you have unlimited willpower and you can always open up a can and smear it on to whatever you're doing, you're going to do well. So I had willpower when I was playing chess. I had willpower when I was kickboxing to make sure I trained as hard as humanly possible to become a 4-time world champion. It's all about self-control and self-discipline and making sure that you are the center of your own universe. And a lot of people agree with this, and a lot of people say this, and they go, yeah. But it's very rare to meet someone who's serious about it, in my experience. If you're truly serious about brute willpower, you could achieve anything. Like, you could do absolutely anything. That's what it's all about. So I've just had the same universal stubbornness and refusal to fail. And anything I've ever applied it at, I've done very well with for that reason. I was extremely disciplined as a child. I had a very disciplined upbringing playing chess, and I could take that upbringing and self-discipline and apply it to myself with everything else I've done, fighting and webcam studios, and now I own casinos and mentorships, et cetera. And I make millions and millions of dollars, and people look at me and go, oh, but how? And I'm like, what do you mean how? It's do the right things every day like you're supposed to, on time, every day, and life usually comes together. I really believe that. People want to be constantly motivated. Oh, I don't feel motivated. Listen, if you're not motivated to go to the gym, and that has resulted in you being obese, suffering health adversity, so you're now damaged your health. On top of that, you're less attractive to females. On top of that, your energy levels are lower. If you really need motivation to just lose weight and live a life worth living, then there's something wrong with you. I train every single day, and I'm never motivated. But I'm disciplined. I never wake up and think, yeah, I want to train. I've been training my whole life. I'm bored of it. But it's something that has to be done, right? So the idea of entertainment, the idea of motivation, these things are completely detrimental to discipline. People come to me all the time and say, how do I get motivated? I say, you don't. You get disciplined. I don't care if you feel like doing X. You must do X, or you will stay a loser. So do you want to be a loser, or do you want to do X? It has nothing to do with motivation. So a lot of these things, people are constantly distracted, and I think a lot of the things that are taught and told about discipline are actually detrimental to a disciplined mindset as a whole. But discipline's a key component. There's no other way out. There is no other way out. That is it. It's something you have to do, and you're going to have to do things you don't want to do on time every single day, or you're going to suffer the consequence. That's how life works.
I don't even look at it as goals, because goals are something that you put on the wall to motivate yourself, right?
Right.
Goals are so if you want to buy a car, you put the car on the wall and it motivates you to go to work to get the car. So that's a goal. Goals are for motivation. I don't work on motivation. I work on discipline. So I don't have a set goal. I just get up and do what I know I'm supposed to do. I don't work to try and afford that car. I work because I'm supposed to work. And then I can already afford that car and another one and another one and a boat and a plane and a house and another house and a land. And then I just work. I do my work. That is my duty as a man, is my duty to God. I train in the gym, it is my duty to God. I do my duties to God. I fulfill my duty. I'm an old school gentleman of honor and respect. I do what I'm supposed to do. I don't have any particular set goals. Anything I decide to do or want to do, I can do instantly. And if I can't do it instantly, I can do it pretty fucking quickly. I don't need goals in that old traditional sense. I do what I'm supposed to do. Wow. It's not a matter of how I feel or how I'm motivated. If I was depressed, it's impossible. If I was depressed, my life would be, and the day-to-day activities would be exactly the same as if I was ecstatically happy. You wouldn't be able to see a difference. I'd be up at the same time. I'd be in the gym the same. I'd be doing the same shit. Those are my duties my duties to God. How I feel has nothing to do with it. Completely unrelated. How I feel is unrelated to my duties to God. They don't change based on how I feel. They're the same. And they will be completed because I refuse to fail God or my bloodline. There's a version of you that never sleeps in, never skips training, never wastes time. There's a version of you who never fails. It is waiting for you. Genuinely ask yourself a question, you at home. If you had done those things for the last 2 years, you never skipped a training, you never wasted time, you never scrolled TikTok, you never sat aimlessly on the internet typing in garbage, never played video games, you never wasted time. You never skipped training, you were training every single day. You never slept in, you were never lazy. There's this version of you. Imagine the person you would be. Genuinely imagine what you would look like. Imagine where you would live. Imagine the car you would drive. Imagine how much your woman would respect you. Imagine the love you would see in her eyes when she looks at you with adoration like a king. Imagine your existence. That person is waiting for you, and the only thing that's stopping you from being that person is your monumental laziness. You can have it. The universe is very giving. It will give you anything you work for. I've never seen somebody try for something with all of their might and not get it. The only people who do not have the things they want are the people who do not try for them. I've never seen a person wake up and say, my only dedication in life is to solve a Rubik's Cube and fail. You are not stupid. You are not incompetent. You are lazy and arrogant. It's extremely important you understand that that person is waiting for you, and you are declining that version of yourself. In the multiverse, in the many different versions of the universe that exist, there is a version of you that does those exact things, and he is a greater person than you can even fathom. You can transform yourself into that guy. You can be a top G. That's exactly what I did. I knew who I was going to have to end up being before I became that person. My brother and I are not from rich families. We are not from advantaged beginnings, but I knew I had to be a big, strong, fighting billionaire. That's what I knew I had to be. Discipline is the key to success. If you cannot force yourself to do something you don't want to do, how are you ever going to put yourself through the suffering required for greatness? If you cannot force yourself to train when you do not want to train, if you cannot force yourself to work when you don't want to work, if you can't force yourself to not log into Pornhub or force yourself to eat right, how can you possibly ever become a monumentally successful person if you cannot control yourself long enough to do what must be done as opposed to what you feel like doing? The only people who get to live their lives based on how they feel are women and children. Children can cry because they feel like crying, as can a woman. A woman can start an argument because she feels like arguing, as can a child. A man must do what he is supposed to do irregardless of how he feels. That is the key component to masculinity, is discipline. If you do not have the discipline to dedicate yourself to anything, you are going to fail and be crushed by the people who can. If you only go to the gym when you feel like going to the gym, you're never going to be as strong as the people who go to the gym when they don't feel like going to the gym. That is a reality of life. So, I train every single day. I've actually heard from some people saying, you overtrain. And I explained to them, one, I don't believe in rest. I'm not you. I'm not pussy, and I'm not broke like you are, Mr. Fitness Trainer, standing around the gym teaching people for $50 an hour. I don't need to listen to you. Secondly, I don't train because I want to get bigger. I train every day because it is difficult to train every day. It hurts. I don't want to. I wake up and I'm busy. I have other things to do. I don't feel like doing it, so I force myself to do it 7 days a week, 365 days a year, so that I know I'm the kind of person who can do what he doesn't want to do when it needs to be done. I am that man, and it is more of a mental exercise than a physical exercise at this point. How can you ever outcompete me if I can force myself to do the things I don't want to do and you cannot? Discipline is absolutely essential for success. The only shortcut to life is to never miss a day, because sometimes you get lucky, and you'll never miss a lucky day if you try every day. Because when you've come from the absolute bottom to the absolute top, and you've done it all off of your own back and hard work and dedication and never missing a day. One, because of compounding interest. And two, if you don't try every day, you might miss your lucky day. And that's what people don't understand. If you never miss a day and you never don't try and you're always on time, was I late today? No, on time. And you try and improve every aspect of your life and you're a professional and you try and make sure that you analyze your decisions, you give yourself feedback, you don't make mistakes, you're not lazy. If you try and you make it to the top, because you look at the people down below and you're like, well, why didn't you try? I did. Oh, I did too. No, you didn't. That's a lie. Now you're lying to me and that annoys me. And you catch yourself being very elitist. And this is what's scary about it, because I'm from a Luton council estate. And now I have all this money. But if I meet somebody who's truly broke, I'm not talking about you not have hundreds of millions, but if I meet somebody who's broke, I think they're an idiot. And I catch myself going, is that bad? Am I elitist? Or do I sit down now and I just say, no, I started lower than you and beat you. How are you poor? You're lazy.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, why would you say if they're an idiot if you were once in that position as well?
No, I was, but I got out.
People misunderstand what trying means, because it's actually extremely lazy for you as a person to give up and work a 9-to-5 for the rest of your life, as opposed to trying to find a way to escape. It's actually lazier. It takes more laziness to go to work every single day for the next 40 years than it would be if you to sit and use your mind and try and find a way to escape. You say, I'm not lazy, I work every day. Well, you are lazy because you can't be bothered to think outside of your box. That is laziness. I can't even call it constructive laziness. It's active laziness. I'm not lazy, I work really hard. Yes, you do work really hard because you were too lazy to find a way to not work. So you're lazy. It's actually very doable for anybody who will pay attention. I've said this before. There's only 3 reasons why anybody on the planet, in the modern world, you're born in the West, and you have access to the internet, which you do because you're watching this, and you're a fully functioning adult. There's only 3 reasons why you do not have everything you've ever wanted. All of your dreams have not come true, which means you're either stupid, you're lazy, or you're arrogant. Stupid is the smallest category. I don't think many of you are too stupid to make money. If I were to sit down and say, do this on repeat, most of you could do it on repeat until money was generated. Stupid is a very small subset, maybe 15 to 20% of people. Then you have the lazy people, who are the people who don't want to work that hard, or they're quitters, or they already have a job, so they think they'll be okay if they just wait long enough and save enough money and get a mortgage, and they're just going to waste their time out of laziness. They're too lazy to think differently than they currently think, and I'd say that's 30 to 40% of people. But most people, the majority, the largest group, are the arrogant. Because a lot of people are so brutally arrogant that even if I sit down, or somebody more successful than them sits down and explains to them how the world works, they don't want to listen. Please understand, I've had conversations with people I went to school with. I went to the same school as them. We grew up in the same area. We had the same education. And they're the same age as me. So we had the same exact number of minutes alive. Same exact hours in the day. 24 hours every single day for X amount of years. And they don't have a fraction of my success. And they ask me, hey man, yeah, you really did well, so how did you pull it off? And I'll start telling them what I did and what they should have done, or how they could improve their situation. And instead of going, thank you for wasting your time, Lord Andrew, on me, the peasant, they instead reply something like, yeah, but you know, it's different because now I moved to Surrey and I live in Reading now. Some garbage that has nothing to do with anything. Would I walk into Mozart's music school, and when he tells me how to compose a beautiful, timeless piece of classical music, tell him, yeah, but I'll do it. I wouldn't do it that way, or I can't do it that way. The arrogance is astonishing. It's truly astonishing how arrogant people are. When somebody has the things you want, you should listen to them. Even if you have a point of view, even if you think it couldn't work for you, or you want to do it differently, or whatever, because of who you are, etc. Even out of basic respect, you should just listen. Because to sit and go, have any kind of opinion or any kind of reply, you're not qualified to have one. You're not qualified because you don't have the things they have. You're talking on a subject you don't understand. Arrogance of people is brutally amazing.
You could take 150,000 of these people and travel back in time and stand them in front of their ancestors and their ancestors who fought fucking saber-toothed tigers or escaped the Mongol hordes or managed to dodge bombs in the Second World War. All the shit they went through just for this fucking cretin to be born. And to look at him, look at who he is, listen to his life story, listen to what he does on a day-to-day basis, and they would feel nothing but fucking shame. Your ancestors